And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you guys all over the world here. It's time for another great race here in the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. My name is Days Cloud. Today I'm joined in the booth today by Clear Mouse. Clear Mouse, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderfully. I'm so excited. This is should not be early for a 10 a.m. start, but for some reason it is. But I made sure to make every effort to make this race. This is going to be completely exciting to watch Zelda and Top Life race.
Yeah, we are back here again. It's been a week. Top Life took game 1, but we are back for game 2 here. Top Life vs. Zelda Group F, the winners bracket. Winners side of the group stages. I don't know how we're really talking about all this, but yeah, no, this race is going to be great. After last time, this one's going to be just a ton of fun. See if Zelda can push us to game 3. It's can't wait.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is GSL style bracket. So the winner of winners bracket, if Top Life wins this series, he goes 2-0, he is going to secure his place in brackets. And Zelda is going to face the winner of I think Schultz here and Jimbroke. We're playing later today. Of course, Zelda, if he wins, he'll take the series 1-1, and we're going to have a game 3, which I think. Sorry, Zelda, at your expense, but I think we're all hoping that. We're hoping that.
Yeah, game 3 would be a ton of fun here. As we get a quick map check there from Top Life, it looks like there was a pendant there on Eastern Palace. There was a red crystal up on Tower of Hera. As we are moving towards the escape sequence here, we got to get everything synced up, and we're going to see exactly what weapon the uncle is going to give us to start today.
Yeah, and certainly, see more and more runners, do an early map check right before escape. Actually, very curious to see what Uncle has, which is the fire rod. Probably not going to matter too much, at least in terms of early light worlds. But if we end up getting a bow, and Eastern is in crystal, that is a very early first place for our runners to go.
Well, definitely, and both runners there immediately seeing that we've got a arrow drop as our first item here. So we're going to have to see exactly what item number 2 is. Now, the fire rod's not the easiest thing to farm with, so everybody's looking for a bomb, but we're going to have to see. We might not be able to get one today.
Yeah, fire rod, of course, probably arguably one of the fastest weapons in order to get through escape because it could just basically one-shot everything. But at the same time, it actually uses quite a bit of magic, and magic is not really something that is readily available here in Back of Escape or in Hyrule Castle.
Definitely. We've got 8 shots there with a full magic bar, and we get
Whoa! That is so nice. Oh man, third check, fourth check.
All right. So
that is so nice. These guys can go fast.
Yeah, we can forget about bombs here because you're worried about getting that one wall open in the escape sequence here. But if you've got boots, you don't need bombs anymore. You can just run into the wall as hard as you can, and it'll open up.
That's right. As everyone always talks about farming, paying attention to price factor, which is of course very important. But if you are fortunate enough to get boots before the Back of Escape, as you said, Days, we don't have to worry about bombs or farming. We can actually save the time not only by bonking open the Back of Escape, we can actually just run all the way back there as well.
Yeah, no, this is also going to pretty much open up a couple of things right out of chat. I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, we're going to go check Bonk Rocks immediately because that's right next to Sanctuary. Now, the question is whether or not these guys are going to run all the way up and check Lumberjack Tree. Usually, runners don't check that until they get boots, and, well, we got them, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and of course, so we definitely seen this tournament, throughout. Some runners like to check Lumberjack regardless of whether or not they have the boost out of escape, and that knowledge sometimes actually has made the difference between winning a race and losing the race. So.
Knowledge is such a big part of this game. It's just like if you can even know what some of your Dark World dungeons are before you make that choice of whether you want to start in, say, down by Hype Cave or you want to start in the Village of Outcasts area, I mean, that can really save you a whole bunch of time. Honestly, it can give you... Information is key in this game. as we're going to make our way down through the rest of this here. Now, boots make this so much easier because it's got these long hallways there with, not that many guards. So we're going to be cutting off a good chunk of time throughout this escape sequence. This is a fantastic start.
Oh yeah, and it's almost as if they wanted you to have boots for like most of this game. very well, very well designed, I would say, locations. Yeah,
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was okay. I was just gonna say, like, so normally we would actually really like to have a permanent weapon such as a sword you can be able to dash with, because you do see Zelda and Topplife kind of taking a little bit of care in order to make sure you don't hit enemies, because without that sword we are actually gonna get stopped in our tracks if we dash. But as you said, Days, there's not too many enemies as Zelda kind of gets, and Topplife just rams himself right into the ropes.
Yeah, it's just some snakes. It's nothing to worry about. I mean, I was gonna say there. I was thinking about this for a minute here. It's almost like SpeedGaming decided that, you know what? Ooh, Topplife gets a whole bunch of bombs there when he shoots one fire rod shot up into the top of the rats there in the top corner of that first room in the sewers. So he's now got 3 bombs, where Zelda at the moment has nothing, but he's going to get the first check of these 3 chests in the back of the skate. And yeah, there's nothing back there for him. So a little bit of an advantage for Topplife first there.
Yeah, it's very underwhelming back of escape. Although Topplife did pick up a bottle, as well as Zelda's. I think I just missed that. That is going to be really nice for them. They're going to be able to check, when they go to Kakariko, they're going to be able to check the bottle, the sick kit immediately.
Right, and for those of you who have never joined in with us before, we are running a standard mode, a standard seed, but it's hard mode. So hard difficulty means that we're going to be fighting a maximum of 14 hearts today. We're only going to be giving the runners green mail, and at best they can only get tempered sword, which is your 3rd level sword here. No silvers as well, so gonna be a couple of things that we're, you've got to work for it just a little bit this time.
Yeah, it certainly is going to up the difficulty. Of course, for the caliber of these runners on the Topplife, they're more than familiar and used to something that kind of limits the upgrades that they can have.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We had to run through a pretty brutal qualifying stretch here just to see exactly who the top 128 runners are. These two made it there. Topplife qualified out of quartile number 4 there, kind of a maybe underqualified a little bit compared to maybe where a lot of people think he should be. Zelda qualified out of number 2, but then they both won their first set of things. As I did not see that on the lumberjack.
That looked pretty red, and I thought it was a cane. Because it looked pretty thin, but that is what I thought. I mean, that's if that's the case, we're definitely seeing Aga today.
Yeah, Cane to Samara. Well,
it might have also just been a red rupee. I'm not sure.
We're getting the hook shot. We're getting Cane. We're getting a lot of different calls here from chat. Nobody really could tell.
it looked red at the very bottom. It looked thin, yes, but. I guess maybe we will all be surprised, or not, if we end up seeing both Zelda and Topplife kind of beeline to Aghanim.
Yeah, no, at that point, if we're going to Aga, you can tell these guys are like, okay, they saw it better than we could.
Yeah. Alright, so Topplife manages to get a couple more resources. Definitely going to have a little bit more advantage, at least going to Kakariko. But Zelda, remembering that once we have the boots, probably very familiar with casual boot starts, is that there is a 100% chance that you're going to be able to bomb through a bomb, through those bombable rocks.
Yeah, no, that's bringing me back to SG Live there when we were running open boots as our settings there, where everybody just got your bombs right out of that one bonkable rock there. As we're down in the bottom of Blind's hut here, there's more bombs down here anyway, so
yeah.
Quite a few, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe, Zelda is, just giving himself like a minor, like, oh man, I should have only fired 1 bomb if I knew there were going to be 6 more just sitting down here in Blind's hut.
Yeah, that's always the way. You gotta play like the game is gonna not give you the item that you want, because a lot of times it won't.
Oh, yes. I was gonna say, I was reminiscing back to game 1 between Zelda and Toplife, where I think they probably would have preferred a more friendlier seed to get items that they want just a little bit sooner than they probably would have gotten it.
Oh man, I should have gone back and watched that one. I know you and me calmed that one together there. We were all together in that as we pulling out a bunch of money here. And where'd all the items go?
Yeah, I guess we were looking for another location. Speaking of the game not wanting to give us anything, as we get a really nice money trade from the bottle vendor, 100 rupees for 300. I'll take that deal any day.
As well, that's a deal right there. Here you go. Here's 100 rupees. I'll take 300 back. Yeah, sure. Great business plan there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a one-time deal, right? He says that he ran out of money, but understandably, if he has to give up so much.
Yeah, no wonder. That's why you can't go back there and do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, other than the bombs that Zelda pulled out of Blind's Hut, for him at least, there hasn't really been anything. Toplife is certainly not struggling for resources at this point.
Yeah, as we get even more bombs from the sick kid and more money out of the back of the tavern here, and Kakariko is not looking like it has pretty much anything. Okay, and we're getting word from Haiku Type there's that he reviewed the VOD, and it looks like the lumberjack item is the hook shot. So yeah, we're gonna need that, unless we're gonna be seeing some amazing bouncing, and it's definitely not Samaria because
that is absolutely correct. And it's another item that, of course, will require the boots. Just like we saw Toplife and Zelda bonk off the Kano Samaria from the library in order to claim that prize on Lumberjack with the hook shot. We are going to also need to bonk open the tree after we defeat Ganon.
Yeah, definitely there, and that's our first green 20 sitting on the race game ledge there. That is probably our first male upgrade of the day there. Since we're doing hard mode, all of those great things that you would get in just a normal thing would just turn into green 20s, like your male upgrades, because you're just not going to get any of those, and silver arrows will turn into green 20s, all sorts of fun little things where you get it and you go, oh, that would have been really nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Now, Zelda actually still having a little bit of magic left where Toplife burned a bit earlier. Can go ahead and... Ooh,
oh, wow, Zelda! Yeah, we're kind of seeing some consequences on Zelda's side. Part of that, we're not going to get any mail upgrades. Oh, that's really nice and timely. A heart refill. Ooh, and a hammer. Wow, what a loaded cave.
Okay, interesting. So that hammer might mean that we're not actually going into Dark World through Aga at first here. We might have to go get that hook shot later, which opens up all sorts of fun possibilities as Toplife working on the bomb strats here with these mini Moldorms. 3 bombs takes them all down. Well done on his side.
Oh yeah. I mean, these runners kind of, make it look super easy. Have you ever tried to hit Moldorms with like anything, even a sword? They're not friendly.
No. The bombs are particularly difficult because there's times where weird things happen with your elevation on the bomb throw, and you're like, oh, that hit, and the Moldorm's just like, no, it didn't.
Nope. That's right. Yeah, hitboxes in this game sometimes can be quite unpredictable. Moldorms and bombs apparently are no exception. Alright, so we do see Zelda running out of the back of Ice Rod Cave. Looks like we, with all that cash that we found in Kakariko, may as well put it to use, right? So Zelda's gonna do a little minor sequence break and check some of the flipper checks, probably including King Zora himself to pay off, which is actually still out of logic because we don't have the flippers or a glove for that matter.
Well, very true here, very true. And Zelda actually went ahead and he set up he's gone ahead and stored his water walk there. He bombed himself onto to the last pixel on that screen transition. So when he jumped into the water, he was able to basically transition the screen. So he's got a water walk down. Now he's going to jump off this ledge, and now he is in a water walk state where Toplife did not do that. So he's just going to be dashing.
Yeah, it looks like Toplife's gonna actually forego the Pogo check. For the time being, of course, it is quite the distance in order to go check it. Zelda made the decision, of course, to store the Water Rock, as you said, Days. So he's kind of able to dash all the way. We saw a sword out of Waterfall Fairy. That is gonna be super nice for them. They're not gonna have to kind of pause their dashes for anything. They can just slice through whatever they see.
Yeah, no, a sword and that was a shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a sword and a shovel there to go ahead and move us along here, as Toplife is going to give us the first look over at Zora today, and that's going to be the 10 bomb Uncle Pack. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up because, why not?
Yeah, I guess why not? Both Zelda and Toplife had quite a number of bombs already to their name. Looks like Zelda's not even going to take the extra 3 seconds in order to get through the animation and get his 2 bombs back.
I can't say I blame him, as okay, now Toplife looks like he's going to be heading towards the Eastern Palace area now. So is Zelda, so we're going to follow each other just a bit now. Zelda has already seen what the item there was on the, or did he?
Yeah, he did. He dashed next to the island by the time he went to Zora.
Okay, well then fair enough. So now both runners have the same level of information here, and we're gonna go to Sasharella and see what he's got for us today.
Yes, this opening coming over here, we find our glove, which is our requisite piece of Dark World access.
Okay, now here's the fun time. When are we gonna need that hook shot? Are we going to need that hook shot? Because I know for a fact that Zelda does have another way of getting over the Moldorm 2 gap at the end. He did that to me once upon a time.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Toplife, I'm not 100% sure if he does. We're going to have to take a quick look here once we get a Dark World map check. I kind of imagine that we're going to be going and getting that hook shot likely, but we'll see.
Yeah, so of course, logically speaking, the seed will always 100% require the hook shot for you to beat the game, mainly because we do, as you said, need to get past Moldorm 2 in Ganon's Tower in order to defeat Moldorm, to spawn the chest so we can get over. Yeah, but of course, there's a reason why both of these runners are in the main tournament groups trying to make the brackets. Zelda and Toplife are both very resourceful. I would imagine Toplife does probably have his own way of getting over the gap with Moldorm 2.
Well, it is not going to matter because I just got a quick map check there on Toplife's screen. That is a crystal on Swamp Palace. Looks like a pendant over in Skull Woods and a pendant in Misery Mire. Our other 5/6 crystal being on Thieves Town today.
Okay, so not only are we going to need the hook shot, oh my god, Zelda is showing us the consequences of why not all runners like to come into Dark World so early on such little health. Everything hits, especially on 5 hearts of health.
Alright, gets a bow there out of one of the chests in Hype Cave, gets all of his health back, and 2 more additional hearts because the game just likes Zelda right now.
Oh yeah, so the game is like, you know what? You've suffered enough through those mini Moldorms and these moblins right outside. I'll throw you a bone, or a couple hearts here in this case.
And Zelda is going to take that immediately, and we're headed to the Palace of Darkness here. Not even going to go stop to go check the pyramid. We're going directly there. Going to go get these. Oh, all of a sudden, I couldn't remember 5 items that are in the Palace of Darkness. Meanwhile, we've got Toplife in Thieves Town getting the 4 items out of this. So we're going to have competing dungeons to see exactly if one of these guys went the right way.
Yeah, so certainly from their perspective, Toplife is going to be able to full clear Thieves Town. This is a crystal dungeon. He has the hammer. He's not going to have to worry about leaving any items behind. Finding that lamp. So when he goes over to the Palace of Darkness, he's going to have a heck of an easier time. Zelda here, on the other hand, he is also going to be able to full clear Palace of Darkness, although not logically from his perspective, because there are going to be a couple dark rooms, including getting to King Helmsor himself in the basement.
Definitely. Zelda's not going to have any problem with clearing Pod, but at the same time, Toplife will have a slightly easier trip through, just because being able to see in this game is you know, it's a bit overrated, but it does make things a little faster.
Oh yeah, it's just for how familiar these guys are, not only with the game mechanics Zelda, remembering that you do in fact need a small key in order to get through the middle door in Palace of Darkness. So I guess we're gonna go to the Bollock side.
All right, yeah, we found so the Palace of Darkness here is kind of an interesting little dungeon here where most of the items are going to be found in the back there, but you are going to find at least 4 small keys in the front of the dungeon here. So there's a pretty good chance that Zelda is going to find 2 small keys over on this side since we got that first item there out of the oh, never mind. It's an ice rod.
Oh yeah, that's probably pretty important. We're not gonna go for an ice rod hunt today, unlike their first game. Ice rod, yeah, I can't imagine Topplife missing that.
Yeah, no one's gonna miss that because that's directly on your path here. You have no choice but to get that thing, pretty much.
Yeah, I think in game 1, between Zelda and Topplife, I'm pretty sure we full cleared the game thanks to those guys. We saw literally probably like every single check, and for the most part for game 1, Zelda and Topplife basically just mirrored each other. Like I want to say 95% of their paths were basically the same. Here we actually have pretty set of large diversions. Right after the Light World, Zelda decided to go to Pod, and we see Topplife here trying to finish up Thieves Town.
Yeah, it doesn't look like outside of that lamp, pretty much anything is... Oh, never mind. Did I see something? Did I see mitts?
Those were mitts?
Did I? I literally looked and I swear I saw something yellow.
Wow, okay. Yeah. That is amazing. That is a very... Well, it's very interesting find, especially this early, for Topplife. So mitts are going to be really, really great. They're going to unlock a lot of things, and especially getting them early game. We are going to, Topplife has kind of like the world open to him. This is going to hopefully be a blessing for him and not a curse. Because sometimes with early items that let you, give access to a lot of the world, checks you're going to make with those that open up are going to be worth your time and not going to lead you on to like wild goose chases. Topplife, oh man, please be careful with this fight. It looks like he actually got a little bit off script with blind. You are not intended to take this much damage, but Topplife does manage to get it through. Also pops a safety potion just in case because we really don't want to die here.
Yeah, definitely. We're doing all right there. Now Zelda going ahead and he's actually taking damage on purpose. He's going to try to set himself up for a death warp here immediately. He's going to blow himself up real fast. 1 and a 2. Doesn't have the mirror yet, so this is pretty much his quickest way to get out of this one little kind of dead-end chest, and he's going to be on his way to go kill Helmasaur in just a minute. As we're going to see exactly kind of like what you said there. Mitts are great. They open up a lot. That's the problem, though, is they open up a lot. So you can find yourself chasing shadows after a point there because you're trying to figure out exactly what is it that the logic is wanting you to do at that time.
Yeah.
So first thing, it looks like we're going to be heading over to Hammer Pegs and grabbing whatever it is that's in here. Pop it open and we see 20 rupees. Topplife looks, no thanks.
Yeah, given that we've already paid off King Zora, we have enough money for Palace of Darkness. I'm not really sure what else he wants. Of course, it's only $20, so it's not going to be worth his time.
Yeah, and we're about to see pretty quickly here over on Zelga's side that the Dark Turtle room is not nearly as difficult when you have Fire Rod, because you can just light up that entire room, kill those turtles really quickly, and then just not have to worry about a thing. As Toplife's into the digging game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, of course, Zelda is more than capable of doing all of these rooms in the dark. But as you said, if we're able to kind of see, where the turtles are, instead of kind of blindly trying to hammer down and killing them, it does, speed things up quite a bit.
Oh God, that was fast. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised with Zelga's level of execution, but man, the turtles really did seem to bounce kind of his way on top of everything else as well. So man, that was impressive. As we're going to go directly into the Helmasaur fight, Toplife has picked up a little froggy friend. He's going to take him with him. And looks like, yep, Zelda went ahead and set up the spin speed here, so he's got a little bit of an additional oomph to his hammer hits going upwards, at least as and Toplife finds the mirror on Stumpy.
What a fortunate find. So not only is the mirror gonna really let him be efficient doing light and dark world checks together, he did remember that there was a shovel, so it's a very opportune time to actually find the mirror, because that's the best possible time in order to be able to use that shovel. But actually, I actually would not be surprised if Toplife ends up going back to turn into Smith and then kind of delivering the purple chest on his way down to South Shore.
Yeah, and while we were geeking out about that, Zelda took down Helmasaur without any issue whatsoever. So yeah, well done to him, as we are now tied on crystals, on 1 crystal on each for both sides here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and Zelda and Toplife both making very excellent progress. With the equipment that they have. The fighter's sword, Helmasaur is not easy whatsoever. Zelda makes everything look easy in this game.
Yeah, he's quite good at this game, if we're being completely honest.
Alright, so it looks like after Helmasaur and Palace of Darkness, maybe Zelda is going to kind of follow along Toplife's footsteps. He's also going to go over to the Dark World. Skullwoods is going to be a pendant today. Would not be surprised if Zelda just has at least visits part of the front of Skullwoods. Some runners do like to see that as more or less overworld, so they kind of always check it, especially if it's going to be a pendant. But
yeah, we're going to have to see, as we get a book there off of the Smiths. So that's going to open up Desert Palace here to Toplife as well. So he's going to have an option when he gets down to turning in this purple chest, whether or not he just want to continue into the desert and finish off that dungeon immediately. Misery Mire being a pendant kind of gives him maybe an extra incentive to go ahead and go that way, because you might not find flute in this seed.
Yeah, and this is actually going to be really nice as well, because with that book, we haven't ended up checking any of the tablets. So if Toplife decides to go over and visit the desert area, he can actually check Bombos right along his path. He can't actually get what's on Bombo's tablet, because we do need another sword, but he can certainly see what's there.
That's true. There might be something interesting on Bombos, and like we were talking earlier, it is full on knowledge is king.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you can't get it, if you know it's there, that's a good thing.
Yeah, especially kind of in Toplife's situation, where I think he has the mitts, he has the mirror, the whole world is open to him. If something important is on a Bombo's tablet, that's going to be definitely a really nice indication for him to go back, and doesn't have to do like another, wild goose chase of 50 checks in order to find the next thing of progression.
Yeah, very true. It looks like Zelda is gonna kind of bet kind of hard on Skullwoods. Now, it being the green pendant is going to give him at least one more check here when he goes over to Sasharala, but I'm a little surprised he's doing this. But like, if this turns out to be the play, this is going to be a huge early thing for him, because Toplife has next to no reason to come over to this side. And yep, we've got a fairy there on purple chest.
And we did see, of course, Toplife taking the express route. If you end up mirroring the first time into the light world, right actually next to the locksmith himself, the purple chest would just kind of magically appear as if it was following you all along. Really nice, especially for these runners who got their boots in the 4th check or something like that in Hyrule Castle. You definitely want to be able to dash whenever possible, and of course with a purple chest or anything really that's following you, you're gonna have to kind of walk your way through. So definitely saves a lot of time.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's one of those nice little things that you can do there, where you're just moving along and not having to worry about Zelda just absolutely obliterating that poor Gibdo there, knocking him into spikes. Getting the key from him, and he's off to his Mothula fight here. Now, Fighter Sword Moth, not a ton of fun, but he's going to pull out the hammer here, try to hit him 4 times with that, and if he is successful, this Moth will go down extremely fast.
Yeah, of course. Mothula's Arena probably makes this the most difficult fight for Mothula himself. Zelda does need to be a bit careful to not get hit. The spikes do 1 damage. Mothula himself does 2. Definitely popping that safety potion. It looks like he actually did need it, because he ended up taking up another hit, which would have been one-hit KO for him.
And yep, down goes Mothula, kind of like we expected him to. And that is going to be the green pendant for Zelda here. Nothing too interesting so far otherwise there in Skull Woods at the moment, but we'll have to see there. I believe there's still at least one item remaining in here, maybe two still.
Yeah, I think there's only one because I remember Zelda pulling out actually the fighter shields out of, I think, pinball room, maybe I want to say. It was somewhere in the front. So of course, with the fire shield, Zelda's gonna have a bit more of an easier time with the blind fight. So.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things that where the shields don't actually help in this game, except for the fighter shield does help on blind, because you'll hear that nice little ding and you'll go, that's a good sound right now.
Oh yeah, and and given how many hits Topplife ended up taking from blind, I'm sure it's a welcoming sight for Zelda in order to have. Hopefully he's not going to force need it, because blind is going to be a scripted fight, and assuming that you follow the script to the T, you're not going to give Blood the opportunity to be able to do any damage to you.
Definitely. And as we are kind of just waiting for the next bit of progression here to pop up, Zelga's going to run himself up to Bumper Cave, going to give us a quick look to see if there's anything sitting on this ledge. Runs around the corner, sees a big 20, and at this point I would like to mention that SpeedGaming would like to make you aware that there is a great marathon kind of race coming on here. Super 16 is going to be on immediately following this game. It's going to be 16, a race of 16 different games. It looks like an absolute blast to watch here. So make sure to stay tuned to us there. If you want more information there, just throw the command in chat. I'll go ahead and type it in there for everyone if you're interested. Oh, that might not be the command.
I got you, Dave.
Thank you, Clint Rouse.
Yeah. Yeah, so as we are watching Zelda kind of retrace some of Toplife's steps, he's going to be able to claim his goodies or lack of goodies out of Village of Outcasts, and then be able to at least get his things out of Thieves Town, which is what we want, meaning the lamp and the Titansmiths and of course one crystal. Toplife taking on Lammo, trying to use that fire rod and kind of balancing himself with the sword. Unfortunately, did not quite get to land all of the shots that he wanted. So he's going to pull out the hammer, which is going to be our best damage-dealing weapon. Does Pepper Sword. Looks like Toplife, though, is going to opt to kind of not try it and do more NMG strategies, with the bow. But still manages to get Lammo down, I think, 3 cycle?
Yeah, something like that. Well, it is down, and we are getting crystal number 2 over there on Toplife's side. Zelda not too far behind, picked up the lamp here. He's going to go through the rest of Thieves Town and go pick up his mitts in the vanilla location, and that is where we're going to be headed. It's time for Toplife to decide exactly what he's going to do next, because I kind of assume Zelda is just going to basically do exactly what Toplife did, just in a slightly different order.
Oh yeah, and in fact, when Zelda picked up the lamp, I can imagine him thinking like, well, this would have been useful, like 15 minutes ago when I was in the Palace of Darkness trying to do the Dark Maze and the basement. Oh, Toplife, though, not immediately going over to Pod.
Did he pick up a cape?
He did, actually. He picked up the cape in Desert.
Okay, I was about to say, because it's not on the tracker, so I was like, oh god, it's like, what on earth is he doing? And then it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, that's right. So it looks like actually Toplife is going to, he remembers that there is a hook shot, that is sitting there on Lumberjack. He is going to, like having the hook shot is certainly going to be nicer earlier rather than later. So he's going to defeat Ganon, get himself the hook shot before kind of heading over to the rest of the dungeons. Having a little bit getting bullied there, by the blue guards, unfortunately.
Yeah, the hammer hitbox strikes again.
Yeah. Yeah, and it actually looks like Toplife was probably hoping to get at least one more sword before he has to make his Ganon climb. But as we said before, the game doesn't always like to give you items when you need them or want them. So probably Top Life said, you know what, I don't want to wait any longer. The hookshot's going to be much more useful to me now than later. I'm just going to make the climb, and I'm more than capable of doing this on Fighter Sword.
Yeah, definitely, and it kind of seems like this is actually going to work out really well for Top Life too, because he finishes this, he can go over to Palace of Darkness, he can go ahead and clear out Helmasaur, clear out everything out of there. I don't think there was really anything to note in Palace of Darkness outside of that Ice Rod that he can't possibly miss.
That's right. Yeah, I also don't remember really seeing much on Zelda's side, but of course we'll just get double confirmation. And of course, having this lamp available to Top Life, that because he visited Thieves Town first, he is going to have a little bit of faster time, presumably, in the basement, in the dark maze, kind of over Zelda.
Alright, Top Life getting a little low on hearts here, but deciding, you know what, I'm just going to pull out my Fire Rod. That's much easier to kill things with.
Yeah, you can see him kind of taking some care and picking up a couple extra parts in the Circle of Pots room. The bats, I think, do like half a heart of damage, something like that, or maybe a quarter part damage. But those red guards, though, he has to be careful because they do one whole heart of damage.
Yeah, those red guards are the most annoying enemies in the game, pretty much outside of the dead rocks on Death Mountain. Those things will chase you to the end of the earth. Yeah,
speaking of, once Top Life ends up defeating Ganon 1, the whole world, light world, is going to change because for some reason Ganon said we're going to need to beef up security around everywhere. So instead of kind of green guards going around everywhere, you're going to see a lot more blue and those pesky red guards. Especially, actually, we're going to see this if they ever go over back to the Eastern Palace area. That place, for some reason, is just like loaded with guards.
Yeah, definitely. As Zelda went ahead, he took down his third boss of the day. There's Blind went down to him. He's got his Titan's Mitts. We're going to clear out the rest on this as Aga is going to do his fun little show. We're going to hope that we don't get too many blue balls because, we got things to do today.
Yeah. Zelda actually putting that shield to use, using his shield to deflect the spear from the moblin, so he can actually dash over and pick up a potion. Actually, very good game knowledge on Zelda's side. He definitely wants to make sure he doesn't die here in the Dark World.
As one of those things that you learn when you're first starting out in this game and you're wanting to try to lower your times as much as possible, dying is slow. Don't do it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I learn something new every day, Days. Thank you so much.
It's so simple, but it's actually really hard.
Oh yeah, we definitely kind of see both our runners actually coming into some very close shades. Of course, these runners are being very resourceful, and part of the reason why we have bottles and safeties. There's no reason to hoard them, right? They're not going to be good for the next game because we really want to be able to win this game first.
Yeah, no, as we've kind of mentioned earlier there, this is game 2. Top Life is up 1 game on zelgadissan right now, and if Top Life takes this, he'll move on into the bracket stage of our top 64 runners, moving Zelda into the bottom here. If Zelda wins, we're going to have a game 3 scheduled for basically the same time tomorrow, so we've got things to do, and there is a Master Sword just sitting on the pyramid for him.
Oh man, Top Life is probably thinking, why didn't I come here earlier? There's just literally a sword sitting that would have been very useful in the climbing castle tower.
That's kind of unfortunate, honestly.
Yeah. Seems to be the theme of this scene, at least so far, right? Zelda kind of found the lamp in Thieves Town. Would have been pretty useful for him in Palace of Darkness. Top Life, finding a sword immediately after climbing, what is a pretty difficult tower.
Now, interestingly enough, looks like Zelda did not pick up the Smiths. So he might save a little bit of time on that here as we get a quick save and quit from Cave 45. And what is Zelda going to do? Oh, no, we're going to Sanctuary. Okay. We're going up the mountain, it looks like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We still have King's Tomb. Thank you, Zelda, for that nice reminder. This is something that, Top Life hasn't ended up doing yet.
I'm a little surprised we're not going immediately for that hookshot. If we're actually going up the mountain, the way we are, I would think you would want the hookshot to be able to fully clear Dark Death Mountain.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually a good point because so we do have access to all of Dark and Light Death Mountain with the hammer, the mirror, and the mitts. But most importantly, as you said, Days, there is another cave called, notably called Hookshot Cave, which does require the hookshot in order to get most of the items out of that cave. But yeah, hopefully Zelda didn't forget about that. Also coming up here without kind of turning the smiths, right? We did see on top left side that the smith ended up having a book for us. And of course, if he's up here, Zelda's not going to be able to check with their tablets, which top life eventually when he goes up, he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. Now, if either tablet goes to decides to actually have something important today, say the flippers or one of the medallion we need, we've only got
hopefully one, yes.
hopefully only need to do Turtle Rock today, but yeah, that could actually be a real big time save or a huge time loss there for Zelda. But you know, hopefully it doesn't come to anything like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
There's
well, you know, so I always like seeing the flute because you get a lot more mobility options, but I'm not really sure if that's necessarily something that people want to see, mainly because it does open up the mire area, and as you said, if we never have to go into mire, that is going to be totally a time saver for us.
Zelda is finding a ton of things on the mountain right now as we immediately go over and inside of Spec Rock on top of everything is the Quake medallion here as he's going to set up for this really awkward bomb jump. Gets it. Well done on Zelga's side.
Yeah, no, Zelda is definitely very familiar with pretty much all of the bomb jumps in this game. Very well practiced as well.
I mean, I hate that bomb jump with a passion.
The consequences for most bomb jumps, it seems like, is actually pretty steep, especially for that one, right? Because if you end up falling, it is, I think it's actually probably faster to say to quit. It's just start over versus you falling all the way down and kind of running back up the mountain.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, it depends on whether or not you have the boots and a couple of other things. But it's demoralizing. If nothing else, it's just utterly demoralizing.
Yeah, Zelda, though, remembering that Tower of Hera is going to be our next clearable crystal. Oh man, though, without that hook shot, Zelda's not going to be able to Hera pots. Oh no. So I think when Top Light comes up here and when he gets it, presumably he's going to come in with a hook shot, he might also have a little bit more time over Zelda.
It's not a huge difference. It is a difference. It's not a huge difference. Like a Hera pot saves maybe a good 10 to 15 seconds if you get it the first time. But that's the thing. It is kind of hard to get it the first time for a lot of people here. So, yeah, not great, but.
Yeah. And of course, we did see the, and I think in this case, like the Hera pot probably ended up just saving a little bit of time because we did see Zelda pick up the big chest or the big key to get a small key. Unfortunately, I did not see if we ended up picking up an item earlier.
Yeah, no, I've got one item there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say exactly. But I know I've seen one item out of Tower of Hera here. We'll see what Moldorm gives us. Maybe he'll give us the second item, and then we'll know for sure.
Speaking of that, oh no! Hammer hitbox and Moldorm's hitbox. I'm sorry. It's all good. You know, at least for what it's worth, when he got kind of hit and bounced off, it was kind of early towards the fight. Right? Oh, man.
Yeah, it never feels good though. I mean, the hammer hitbox. I don't care who you are. That thing. That didn't hit its tail. That second hit shouldn't have counted. The third one totally did. But all right.
All right. Revenge is a dish best served. Moldorm. Zelda takes Moldorm down. No problems. Unfortunately, picking up a compass. So presumably that is going to be mean an item in Tower of Hera basement. I'm kind of curious to see if Zelda decides he's going to sit through Tire Room this time.
Hard to say here exactly. There's a lot of other items up here, so there's a pretty good chance that he's just gonna go, you know what, let me check everything else, and if I have to come back to the basement, I'll come back to the basement.
Yeah, no, that is certainly a good point. With the myths, with having access to both light and dark world Death Mountain, there is going to be a ton of options for Zelda. Especially also there is Spiral Cave, there's also Spike Cave, there is Paradox Cave. We have a lot of caves apparently.
Okay, and that is Helmasaur down over on Top Life side. That is crystal number 3 for him as well. So we are tied up on crystals. Zelga has green pendant to his name. Top Life doesn't have that, but yeah, other than that, we are pretty good to go here. Oh, you know what? I just realized, you know why Zelga didn't do Aga? Because he didn't get the cape.
Oh right, he doesn't have the cape yet. That was sitting in desert. Man, this book for the Smith turn-in actually might be a bit more probably a bit more consequences than we kind of initially realized. So hopefully Zelda goes back and gets the book lickety split. Although I can't see him doing this, I guess, anytime soon. But if he does visit the pyramid, he can get his Master Sword, and then he can do Agnum.
That is true. If he routes it that way, he'll be able to find that. The problem is that since he's done Pod first, he has less incentive to go over to the pyramid, just because, yeah, I don't need to go over there. I mean, he has the green pendant. He'll have to see exactly at some point whether or not he wants to go and turn that in. Interestingly enough, Top is in EP, is in Eastern Palace, and I'm not sure why. To be honest.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious. Maybe he thinks that he, yeah. Actually, especially since we mentioned that with Top Life's equipment, namely he's got the book and he's going to be able to get the hook shot soon. He has how many checks up here? 17, something like that. Probably maybe almost 20 checks, kind of open to him. Versus kind of like the exploring Pendant Eastern Palace.
Yeah, no, and then there's a good point is that if it turns out that Turtle Rock is Quake, Zelga can go ahead and clear Turtle Rock immediately.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Zelga is still on Fighter Sword though, unfortunately. I mean, he does have the hammer, which is going to certainly make Try Next Fight actually doable. But yeah, it would be really great if we can find maybe another sword or two up here to kind of make our lives a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, Zelga has the ability now to go to Eastern Palace whenever he gets the chance. He can, not Eastern Palace, but Desert Palace whenever he gets the chance, because he'll be able to flute through Mire here. And oh god, is he thinking of doing a hover? He is.
Wow! Alright, hopefully this is going to work out for Zelga. He has had very mixed success about being able to use boost, but it looks like he gave it his one attempt, the old college try, and is going to decide to see what Turtle Rock has in store for us.
And that's Quake, so we're going to go directly in there. It looks like Top Life has sunk his time into Eastern Palace here, and we're going to go check King's Tomb real fast, and then I imagine he's headed up the mountain as well.
Yeah, probably, and hopefully, I'm going to assume that Top Life is going to remember that he can pick up that hook shot right along the way before heading up.
Clear mouse.
Yeah, what's up, Dazed?
We're flippers from Go mode.
Whoa. Let's just take stock in what else we still need to do in this seed. So we did see that Zelga has taken down Tower of Hera, so we don't need anything more there. We're going to be able to fully clear Turtle Rock. We have everything we need for Ice Palace, minus in order to actually just flip there logically. And yeah, we just need flippers here for Swamp Palace. Wow, that is so fast.
Yeah, this is yeah, so I guess Super 16 is not gonna have to worry about starting on time.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna be done probably here pretty as soon as we can find those flippers here. As Top Life is showing us that 100%. That was the hook shot on Lumberjack. So this is one more thing where he's gonna save some time on Zelga, because Zelga had to go the long way through that Torches room.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
At least Zelga remember that he doesn't have hook shot, because muscle memory will just let you go all the way left or right in this case, and then you're like, oh no, I can't actually hook shot myself off the torch, and then you have to kind of sit through a whole cycle before starting over.
Yeah, that does feel bad. It feels real bad when you do that, but now that's kind of the interesting thing here is, now I'm thinking the worst possible place right now for flippers to be for Zelda would be in Hookshot Cave. Pretty much if they're in Hookshot Cave, at that point you just go, oh, I think Toplife probably has this game.
Yeah, right. So a couple of locations that Zelda was not kind of able to check on his way up to Death Mountain is we do have Hookshot Cave, at least the remaining 3 chests there, and Ether Tablets. So if flippers are kind of there in those locations, it's going to be very, very difficult for Zelda to kind of go back. Topplife needs to not death warp though before he enters at least Turtle Rock, so he can find some solace.
Right, death warping on the overworld tends to go poorly.
Would you say that that's similar to your advice earlier days, where you're just dying is slow, something like that?
Yeah, just don't die. Dying is slow. Yeah, just don't do it. As okay, so we got Zelda going a little bit deeper in here, and he's got considerably more health than Toplife does at the moment.
Yeah.
As we're into Lava Chest, he's going to show us that it's just the compass. And I'm going to have to find a few more things, it looks like.
Yeah, certainly from Zelda's perspective, he's missing quite a lot. As you mentioned, Days, from Toplife's perspective, though, we are really just looking for some blue shoes or flippers, and we should be good to go. We are going to come up here very soon on Hookshot Cave. So, as you said, if it's here, Toplife's gonna be able to clear out the rest of the dungeons as fast as he possibly can.
Oh, now, interesting thing about Toplife's route here, not going to Spectacle Rock Cave means that he doesn't have Quake yet. He can't necessarily go into Turtle Rock until he goes back to Spec Rock.
So presumably he is going to go over there because Tower of Hera is a crystal, and I imagine he wants to clear it. So maybe after that he'll be able to find it. But it is going to be a little bit of backtracking. Oh, okay. Well, the good news is that we found the flippers that are absolutely required for the seed in Mimic Cave. That is probably looking very promising on Toplife's side, given the flippers location.
Yeah, so Toplife's going to come over here. He's going to see the interesting information that it's Quake and go, okay, so I got to go find that. That's really hard. But then he's going to run over to Tower of Hera, probably hop down and go, oh, found him. Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll be much easier at that point. Now, Toplife could even pull out like a sword. Oh no, Zelda got...
Oh, Zelda! Oh no! Zelda's too fast for his own good. That is really unfortunate.
That is such a bad feeling. That happened to me in an SG Live race at one point,
no.
And it is the worst feeling where you just kind of get dinged in there, and you gotta mirror out. There's a way out of it, but man, is it hard.
Yeah, it's probably not even worth it, especially with the mirror, right? You just have a pretty fast option, and you did come right out of not the safety door quite, but right outside like the big chest, so it's really not that much distance in order to backtrack.
And alright, so Toplife is now going to do Spiral Cave, so he's going to clear this entire mountain, it looks like. That's going to be good for him, because he'll find pretty much everything. He'll leave this mountain in go mode. Zelda's probably not going to be too far behind him, because I kind of imagine he's going to go activate that flute and then immediately to desert. Or maybe there's a slight chance he goes to Ice Palace first. Kind of hard to say.
Yeah, this is it might also depend on how Zelda's feeling, right? If he's feeling behind, maybe he will decide to end up going to a slightly, or actually no, I guess it would be logic, Ice Palace, or he could try and chase Desert.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. We're gonna find out pretty soon here. Zelda, unfortunately, this is one time where having options is kind of a bad thing, because you can choose the wrong one and not really, it can have a bad result with not really having any fault of your own here.
Yeah, and also I think Zelda has not ended up turning in the green pendant as well, so that also might be something on his mind, especially with the flute. Might make it over to Sahasha a bit faster.
All right, onto a nasty little fight here with Trinex and Hammer Strats, which not really any fun, as Zelga's going to have to do this purely with the hammer since he has no other way.
Yeah, and we see him actually taking some considerable care to make sure that he has enough magic for this fight, because I think Zelda actually used his only remaining red potion, and he doesn't have any other safety, so if he runs out of magic, he's going to start this fight over again. But luckily, manages to pull off a phase 1 hammer slash fighter sword Trinex. No easy feats.
Now down goes Trinex there. Great execution from Zelda. He's going to pick up crystal number 4 on his side. And yeah, no, he's got to get himself now to desert probably. So this is the moment of truth for Zelda. It's exactly which direction does he go.
Yeah, presumably by activating the flute, he can also, as you said, kind of dually check out the desert area, and presumably he can also check out the Mire area. There are 2 fast checks in Mire Shed that he has available to him. And of course, if he wants to go over into, I think he also has not done a Kina or a checkerboard. So those are also some faster overworld checks for him as well.
Yeah, there's a lot pushing him towards the desert area. But I mean, ice is there. He did just get flippers. That could be the first thing on his mind. Maybe that is where he's going. Toplife is having just a bucket of fun here with this Moldorm.
Oh, yeah. At least Moldorm had the decency to knock him, I guess against like the one wall on the arena. So he didn't quite fall. Luckily, though, Toplife for that Master Sword having a bit of an easier time taking Moldorm down. Okay, so Zelga's gonna flute to 8 or flute to 6?
Alright, moment of truth. Let's find out exactly. That is going to be a flute to 6. Okay, so that is really good for Zelda here. Toplife, on the other hand.
Are we gonna get a Spectacle Rock inside check?
Well, first we're gonna go get this flute. And now we're hopping into Spectacle Rock, okay.
Zelda finds our 3rd sword actually in Mire Shed.
Okay, now that is really big for Zelda. That's really big because he's going to get tempered the moment he goes and finishes this. And Zelda is in go mode now because he doesn't need the cape any longer. So what are we going to say? 55 minutes and 45 seconds. Zelgadissan is in go mode.
That is
so is Toplife at exactly the same time as he gets the bomb jump across Spectacle Rock.
No, Toplife was probably just actually very, probably surprised and fortunate to see like, oh wait, I'm in go mode. This is all I need in order to get to Spectacle Rock. Oh no, he hasn't seen flippers yet. So Toplife,
he's gonna get him.
Oh yeah. He's definitely gonna get them. But I think if he knew preemptively that the flippers were of course in Mimicave of Turtle Rock, he wouldn't have to go through Spiky. But yeah, he's gonna be really happy to see the quick medallion. He's gonna go probably straight in.
Now, I think the biggest thing of this is going to be the sword advantage here. Now, oh god, there is an awful possibility that what ends up happening is we get a full clear, that Zelda goes ahead and he clears Aga Tower, and then immediately mirrors off the top, does not check the pyramid because he doesn't need to check the pyramid.
Yeah.
He's in go mode. And if that happens, he loses his big sword advantage, and then we are basically tied.
Yeah, certainly, especially if you're a Zelda fan, you really hope that he's going to take the extra, 3 or 4 seconds in order to kind of get a glimpse of that tempered sword, because he's going to pay huge dividends if he ends up picking it up.
Oh, definitely. And but I mean, like, if it's me, I'm in go mode I'm not checking the pyramid ledge. What the heck could be on the pyramid ledge? I mean, I'm not gonna worry about a heart piece on the pyramid ledge. I mean, come on now.
Exactly. Yeah, especially if you're in Zelda's shoes, where you have actually all 14 hearts. Every single heart piece, heart container, health upgrade is going to just turn into green 20s at this point. But we did see Zelda taking down Lanmo very, very nicely with 6 fire rod shots. Really clean and nicely done one cycle.
Yeah, definitely. All of Zelga's boss kills today have been extremely clean. Like he's showing the execution that he's really known for here. Toplife been a little shakier on his boss kills. I think if you're going to give any sort of advantage right now, you might give it to Zelda. It's hard to say though. I mean, at this point, we are in a pure sprint to the end.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and so Zelda and Toplife both have top-notch execution. You should not ever want to sleep on either of them. They are very, very formidable opponents. In order to actually get an execution battle between these two is actually quite a treat to watch. Toplife, remembering that he does have the hook shot, being able to just take advantage of that muscle memory, and we did see he actually finished that room considerably faster than what Zelda had to do.
Yeah, no, Zelda with 14 hearts climbing Aga Tower can afford to be a little bit more scattershot with his with his execution here. He doesn't have to worry about dying by any means unless something absolutely catastrophic happens.
Yeah, and also, actually, yeah, speaking of that sword advantage, Toplife came up to Agnum's tower with only the fighter's sword. That master sword is actually going to make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, you can route things almost perfectly, but equipment, when you have to deal with something, really comes into play. This is going to be a fun finish here. So everybody, do hang on. Thank you for joining us all tonight. This is going to be a great finish here. I'm Dazed Cloud. Clear Mouse is sitting here with me. We're really happy to have you in tonight on this amazing race there, and a big thank you. We haven't thanked them yet, but big thank you to B-Links, our tracker there, clicking the buttons behind the scene, getting us all set and going. Okay, sorry, Haikyuu type, tonight for me, morning for rest of you.
We're just happy to have you whenever it is, Days. Oh, Zelda having some issues there with the circle of pods. Those guards never want to move the way that you want them to move. Oh, it's quite unfortunate.
To answer a question in chat, yeah, they're Group F. Yeah, that's a rough group. I mean, no group in this stage here in the tournament in the larger group of 128 is easy, but Group F is one that people did kind of put a circle around as, oh God, I'm glad I'm not in that.
Oh yeah, this group is definitely not one that you could probably predict. Any of the 4 runners within this group is very capable of making it out of groups. Any one of these, anyone can take down anyone in this group, pretty much.
Right, so never mind my early call on Toplife being in go mode. He's about to be in go mode as soon as he knocks off these 4 green mimics here really quick. Zelda is dealing with a very annoying wizard here who unfortunately doesn't want to play nice too well.
Yeah, but at least, Toplife and Zelda had the exact same Agnum patterns. So they both had to kind of deal with the unfortunate parts. And yeah, just really a little bit over 1 hour. Toplife found his slippers, and he is now in go mode.
Right,
so yeah, unless Toplife ends up finding something in Ganon's tower, or maybe he'll check, a chest or 2 along the way in Ice Palace, like kind of like right on his path, because he is down. Well, he is only on Master Sword. Presumably, this is going to be his equipment loadout when he ends up climbing Ganon's tower and presumably Ganon.
All right. Although we're going to see in just a moment here what sort of end game loadout is Zelda going to have, because he's just killed the wizard Now, does he mirror immediately, or does he run down this pyramid?
He's running. Oh man, Zelda is going to be so happy when he finds the Temper Sword. I almost want to say that was a double take. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is actually going to pay off. Zelda's kind of having a significantly nicer time both on the climb, Ganon's tower itself, and as well as Ganon himself.
Yeah, that's a massive advantage here because there's a very good chance that Toplife never even activates that flute. Because he's really got no reason to go ahead and do that. He's pulling off Toplife is pulling off some nice bootless laser skips over here on his side of the screen, just moseying right around those things, like
Yeah.
not even bothering them.
Yeah, it looks like Toplife though is going to opt to take a safety door. He definitely does not want to die here. Or is he going to come back? Oh no, okay. He's just going to take the safety door to make sure that if anything unfortunate happens on Trinex, he is going to be able to get back there a lickly split.
All right, now you're going to have to give a little bit of quite a bit of an advantage now to Zelda here, because he is going to make his way to Swamp. They're both going to have the same dungeons to have to clear against the other one, but Zelda is going to be doing it with a sword advantage here. If you're a Toplife fan, both Ice Palace and Swamp Palace have a decent amount of chests that are just kind of on the way. You don't really lose a whole lot by checking them. And if one of them has our other sword, that would even up the sword advantage really quickly there. Either way, Zelda has probably got at least a good minute lead on Toplife at this moment.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to see, actually maybe, oh yeah, I'm sorry, we're looking at Toplife and trying to take down Trinex as well. I don't think he also has any magic refills, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't run out of magic. We do see him being able to use the Master Sword though, whereas Zelda kind of had to take more care in order to make sure he had to hit it with a hammer.
Alright, Trinex now exploding on Toplife's side here, so he's going to go in for a spin here and try to quick swap over to his hammer. He's got to land a couple more shots on him. He's got to get 4 shots on him since he got that one Master Sword spin, and there goes Trinex as Zelda is making his way into Swamp Palace and gonna go have a date with Argus here in the back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and a really actually fortunate find. We're going to see the Temper Sword pay off immediately. So normally in a more casual playthrough, we come here to the Swamp Palace, being the second crystal dungeon of the game. You're probably only going to come here with Master Sword, and every single one of those puffs that you see on Argus needs 2 swipes with Master Sword. But with Tempered, it is just hook slash, hook slash, hook slash. Like, it is, I can't probably get much faster than that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is even possible with the Tempered Sword there that if you do it just right, you can actually get yourself a 0 cycle. It is really hard. It is extremely difficult to pull off, but you can actually get a 0 cycle on Argus here. Now, if anyone could do that, Zelda is one of the few runners that I would be like, yeah, there's probably a good chance he could pull that off.
Yeah.
And we're going to go directly to the back, and Toplife is making his way down to Swamp, so he's about a half of a Swamp Palace clear behind, maybe even a full one after he's done emptying the dam here.
Yeah, and actually, we're going to actually see a very slight difference, right? So, go melting Swamp Palace is at least, very, very fast, as we're seeing that Zelda is already, ready to take on Argus. I do imagine though Toplife's going to spend a little bit more time just trying to pick up chests along the way. We just see Zelda, for example, skipping the waterfall chest right in Swamp Palace because he doesn't need anything else in the sea. He really can't get much else in order to help him. No health upgrade, no armor upgrade, of course, and of course no sword upgrade. Toplife though, he would really, really like to be able to find that other sword.
Alright, down goes Argus there. Not quite the 0 cycle there. He did kind of go ahead and release the puffs, but yeah, he's dead. He's well dead.
So fast. Oh, we get a mushroom for our trouble. I guess maybe a little snack before we end up fighting Ganon.
Yeah, no kidding. Alright, so that's going to be crystal number 6 over on zelgadissan's side, and on to Ice Palace. We're going to go take out Cold Stare, and then it's up the tower here. So both runners are just blasting through the seed extremely quickly. Now that again, with having to fight Cold Stare, that's going to be another place where this Tempered Sword is really going to come in handy.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I mean, you do have bombos, so if you want to use bombos to crack open Cold Stare's shell, that you can do that. It'll make things a little bit easier, conserve some fire rod shots, but Tempered Sword, you can just pound him into the corner, and that'll be that.
Yeah, and especially, for those of you who are probably more familiar with NMG speed running, which is probably the most common category in order to try and play this game fast, you could see some really beautifully done cold steer strategies, with the Temper Sword and Fire Rod.
Now, I'm kind of curiously watching Toplife's screen here as he's going to check this waterfall chest, hoping for a Tempered Sword, and that's,
so sad.
not a Tempered Sword.
No, that's not even worth anything close to a Tempered Sword, unfortunately. It's actually quite... yeah, what's up, Daisy?
Oh, I was saying chat's making me hungry talking about mushroom and stuff like that. I'm like looking at that, just going, come on now. I gotta go to bed in a minute here.
I was actually thinking back though for this seed, right? Initially we thought actually Toplife by turning in the Smith and getting the book, right? That actually gave him quite a huge advantage in order to get into Ganon, get the hook shot, and basically open up the rest of the seed for him. Zelda though ended up kind of bypassing that entire sequence and finding himself a second sword that got him entry into Ganon. And kind of as a result, he's able to kind of find that third sword, luckily, and now the advantage, just completely basically different decisions and choices have kind of led our runners to where they are today.
I mean, yeah, you can just see the difference in the boss fights here. I mean, Toplife getting through this this Argus fight there. Ooh, a beautiful quadruple.
Yeah, that's nice.
But the phase before that just took so much longer, as he's now on crystal number 6 as well. Zelda just having this Tempered Sword, it's really making the difference in this game. And we're gonna drop in on to our friend Cold Stare here. Now, Zelda going ahead now. Okay, yeah, I was a little concerned that he didn't have enough magic there, but never mind, he does. And yep, this is what I mean.
Yep,
Cold Stare trapped in the corner.
Oh yeah.
That is that.
Yeah, certainly very commonly seen strategy in order to get Cold Stare. But yeah, with that Temper Sword, as we just saw on Zelda's side, it's just slash, and he's done.
I mean, I can't stop raving enough about Zelga's execution today. Like, his boss kills have just been on point. No wasted time, just going through and just absolutely crushing everyone. And oh yeah, I guess we're supposed to be playing a game right now, aren't we?
Oh right. it's that time already. It's kind of amazing how time just flies when you're just watching two very excellent runners put on such a great race. But yeah, Zelda is going to be the first of our 2 runners up to Ganon's Tower because he has cleared all 7 crystals, in addition to that green pendant that he never ended up turning in to see the prize. But of course, get your guesses here in chat, 1 through 22, for where you think the big key is going to be located in Ganon's Tower, and of course in the order that Zelda ends up checking.
Right, and you gotta guess there, Clear Mouse.
Oh man, I don't actually have a normal guess, but I'm gonna hope that it's gonna be early the seed. So let's go with 5.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping early as well. I'm gonna go a little after you here. Let me go 7.
7. Okay, so it sounds like actually it's gonna be both in Compass Room, assuming that Zelda ends up going right, and we see a small key. I believe he's gone right in the first game. Don't quote me on that because it's already been a whole week.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, the biggest thing I remember from game 1 was Ice Rod shenanigans there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Luckily, this seed said, you know what, you guys, had such an interesting seed 1, I'll make things a bit more boring for you. I'll give you boots early so you can go fast, and I'll just put the right Ice Rod right along your path and pass the darkness.
Well, sure enough, Zelda is into GT. He's entering the building right now, and we're going to be start looking for that big key. His first decision is to head directly to Hope Room, see if he can't fish it out of here, and going to see where he goes afterward.
Oh man! All right. Okay, so for those of you who guessed one, but talk about the big key being early.
Well,
yeah.
So what else do you want to talk about today, Clear Mouse?
Oh, all right. Well, so as we do see that Zelda, of course, remembering that he does need at least one small key in order to climb, in order to get the locked door right before Moldrum 2. But yeah, with a full set of health, 14 hearts, full magic bar, I think Zelda has one potion, I want to say. He is basically ready to climb his gauntlet.
Alright, and Toplife having to deal a little bit more with Cold Stare there. Still takes him down pretty easily on his side. It's a good kill there with your with a combined Bombos, Fire Rod, and Master Sword. So he's got Crystal number 7. He'll be heading up the tower in just a moment as well. Kind of unfortunate for him. He's looking at a Master Sword Silverless fight with the pig.
Yeah. Well, so maybe, yeah, I guess given where the key is, I can't imagine Toplife checking much more. I maybe can see him going over to Stalforce Room because it is 4 quick checks, relatively speaking, and he, potentially if there's a sword here, that's going to be pretty big. But more likely than not, Toplife most likely is just going to do exactly what Zelda did. Grab the big key, grab a small key, and then just head straight up because we do have 5 more checks available to us in the gauntlet itself.
Yeah, and kind of a thing for Toplife. He's probably thinking to himself right now. Things have gone well. I mean, I'm going against Zelda. There's a pretty good chance that he is right behind me, or maybe in front of me. So I got to go as fast as humanly possible. Little does he know that, well, Zelga's actually got a tempered sword, so his life considerably easier.
Yeah, and I can also imagine that Zelda is actually probably feeling behind despite him actually climbing this because he ended up clearing pretty much all of Skull Woods for I think no real payout. So basically, it was an whole extra dungeon that he probably ended up doing that he didn't have to, despite the fact that he does have a tempered sword as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll have some questions to ask about the route for these guys. You can't really complain too much if you're either of them because it worked pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, interview, it's going to be mostly, hey guys, so game 3, are you excited?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, both runners have played very well today. Zelda, some nice Viscera Brooms, making sure that he actually does have enough magic in order to use the King of Samaria. I believe he does know some strats with the bow, but of course, why use the bow when you can just have enough magic for the King of Samaria to make things go faster?
Yeah, I can already tell right now Zelga's probably like, oh my god, I'm doing this room with the lamp. Things suck. Yeah, no, he's fine.
Zelda, of course, did not get the text box of shame that he did not shoot his fire rod too early before the magic had enough time to kind of refill, because otherwise you're going to actually get a text box saying, you don't have enough magic to use the fire rod, bucko.
That one feels bad right there. So Zelda is already up at the top of the tower. Toplife has picked up his small key and is proceeding to try to get up here as quickly as possible. He's not far behind. It's within the realm of possibility that Zelda could have some extremely bad fights here with Ganon and such. Moldrum 2 isn't going to be one of them, as he's already dead. But
Zelda
yeah,
definitely got his revenge from being knocked off the first time.
Right, Zelda is he's motoring to the end here. This doesn't. He is on a mission right now to turn this into a 3-game set.
Yeah, we're probably going to see, and certainly I want to give Toplife all the credit for his, well done execution. We are going to see a difference though between a Temper Sword Gauntlet upstairs and a Master Sword Gauntlet. That extra damage is actually going to pay quite the amount of dividends.
I mean, the Master.
Nice Ganon Ball Z room though from Toplife's side.
He's the one who taught me that room.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean that room is surprisingly difficult, but it's like I think once you learn it, it just looks so cool. You're gonna be able to read the RNG properly and just dash through those rooms.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps, and yeah, Top Life is dealing with just the ability. The Master Sword is fine. It kills these blue Zygzags without too much problem. With the red ones, you're gonna have to hit double, and that's when things start getting weird. As Zelda is about to drop into his pig fight here, and yeah, here we go. This is to move this to a game 3, which would happen tomorrow at basically the same time as this one did.
Yeah, to top life, please be careful. We do not want to die before we clear up Agony 2. I think he does have a potion that he can use for health.
He has a fairy as well, I
Okay.
believe. So that might be the reason why he's just like, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it.
Yeah, oh wow. So we already see Zelda taking on Ganon. Looks like phase 3 already. This is the power of the Tempered Sword. You don't have to do, you have to use 12 spins, get the 1-1. Very nicely done on Zelda's side. Now Ganon just needs to stand still so we can hit him a couple more times. And then we're going to be on to 12 more spins to finish up the game.
Alright, going for Torch Glitch here. He's got the lamp out, gets the Torch Glitch, got Ganon set up exactly where he wants him, and at this point he's going to be looking for triples here. Not going to be able to get it on this first one. He'll have to wait Ganon out, but sets it up for the top of the room, and yeah, he should be likely get a triple off of this set.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if Torches is considered absolutely necessary, but in order to save your time, like you absolutely need Torch Dish in order to be able to even have the opportunities to do triples. Certainly very requisite in order to speed things up a bit.
Oh, this is just a great Ganon
Wow,
fight. I mean,
yeah.
every single boss fight from him today has just been on point. Get your GGs into chat. As soon as Zelda crosses this bridge, we're gonna officially start getting ready for game 3 tomorrow. That's just a great play from Zelda as he goes ahead and crosses the line, finishes with an race time.gg time or whatever of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 48 seconds. Great run from Zelda today.
Oh yeah, no, Zelda absolutely wanted to force a game 3. He wants that spot in winners brackets, or actually in brackets. So definitely brought his A game today on the show. Really nicely done. Excellent execution all around.
As Top Life in World War II chest finds a red potion when he's down to 1 heart.
Yeah, unfortunately, out of the 5 checks upstairs, we did not see a Tempered Sword, so Top Life is going to be stuck on Master Sword. It's going to be another difference that we're going to be able to see on the Ganon fight between what a Tempered Sword fight is versus a Master Sword.
Yep, no, he's going to go ahead and work through this really quick. This is, See if he can get through this, at least this part, without taking that little ding. Never mind.
Blue ball is just as annoying in Aghanim 1 as it is in Aghanim 2. But yeah, good memory days. We do see that fairy that he ended up picking up from, oh yeah, chest, right? And he never ended up...
Right, purple chest, yeah, that was it. And almost got through that there. So yeah, we're going to be going on to this real fast here. And Top Life's going to be jumping into this thing. And we are now joined in the booth today by Zelgadissan, our winner of this race. GG's, bud.
GG, Zelda.
You GG's.
So how'd that feel all together there? I know what it looked like from our side, but how'd you feel going through that seed?
There were some stressful moments. I felt like overall near the end, I thought I was in a pretty good position. Honestly, seeing Tempered from the pyramid ledge actually kind of made me feel a little bit worse, knowing that my opponent could have had Aga access so much easier. But other than that, I was feeling pretty good about most of my routing choices, minus maybe Skullwoods.
Yeah, I guess that was really the biggest question there is you took that or dive into Skullwoods to go ahead and clear Moth. Now, you didn't exactly take a whole lot of time there, but I mean, in an 80-minute seed, 3 minutes could count. Any reason you kind of jumped in there?
If I didn't do it then, when I don't have mitts, it's really awkward getting back to Skullwoods, and I didn't have anything else that would lead me up to the north. Like, I didn't have a mirror for Graveyard Ledge, I didn't have a cape for Bumper Ledge. So I was just kind of thinking, I'm right here. Even my sword is out of logic, which was another thing I was thinking at the time. This is kind of a questionable play. But I still felt like, in the terms of efficiency, I'm never gonna do Skullwoods if I don't do it right now.
And it does make sense. I guess this is one thing you probably heard us there. If you jumped into the stream at one point, just kind of raving about your execution on some of your boss fights today. Really looked like you were on point today. Just great execution, I think, across the board.
Yeah, overall, I think Mothula was the main exception, actually. But other than that, I do think I've played pretty well execution-wise. Not too many random bonks in weird places. Just overall, just kind of played my game. It's a stressful situation, especially being on the 0-1 side of a race. But I felt like overall I couldn't have done this much better than I did. So I'm pretty happy with this result here.
You definitely did very, very well in order to force a game 3. We were certainly very happy to be watching this race.
Yeah, Top Life is that was really the big difference, was the sword difference. Really stretched it out there. I mean, your execution again with the bosses there did help, but a lot of that did also kind of come down to the fact that you had you had Tempered and Top Life didn't. So it took him much more time to kind of have to go through, and I think the Argus fight alone there you probably gained a minute on.
Yeah, actually, probably the biggest difference was we were actually a bit worried earlier on, because Top Life, after getting like the mitts and the mirror, it went back to turn in the Smith, which had the book, which got him into the desert, which got him the cape, and that let him do Aghanim. And we were, after you save and quit in your sequence, we weren't sure if you were ever going to get back to that. But then you found the flute, and you found another sword, so that was your Aghanim access, and you could have actually completely bypassed the book.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit to Top in the race room about that. It's just, that's really a large story of the race. Is just I never had that book, so I had to activate my flute, so I had to go by Mireshed. So that's an unfortunate piece for sure for Top Life.
And that'll be that for Top Life, as he's taken down Ganon, and he has crossed the line here with a time of 1:25:29. Get your GGs into chat for Top Life. Hopefully he'll be joining us in the room here in just a moment. And yes, speak of the devil, there he is. How you doing there, Top?
GG's, Top Life.
GG.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, once I found a Quake, I didn't have much hope, to be honest. Because that was such an inefficient mountain route, and the seed seemed so fast. So, but yeah.
Okay, I do have one question for you, bud. Why EP when you had the whole mountain?
Oh, I was just going to do the first 2 checks and just continue with my legacy of doing the first 2
there you
chests.
go. Fair enough. Okay. All right.
But then I didn't find anything. I found a big key. Oh, then the 2 next is kind of fast. And then I didn't get anything there either, except 1 item. So, it just lured me deeper and deeper. I was just going to do the first 2. I was not going to do anything else.
I mean, to be fair, it's not really going to make a big difference, because once Zelda found that tempered sword, it was just like, oh, there's not a good way to there's not a good way to get around that.
I was like thinking about it, like, will I save time if I release the bird and buy potions for Ganon fight? Because then maybe I can do Kane strats, I can abuse the cape more. I can do fire roll at every turn.
Yeah, I mean there was more options there. Yeah, you had to kind of baby that Ganon fight because you just didn't have a better way. But I mean, you still finished in 125. It's just more. Zelda never really gave you an opening to make any time back.
Yeah, I had a feeling there with all the items. Like the only thing I could hope for is that it didn't check Lumberjack, but that's very far stretch when you're coming out of Sanctuary with the boots.
Yeah,
no.
you guys got the boots like 4 checks in or something like that. It must have been pretty nice to be able to go through escape with boots.
I'll be honest, it felt a little weird. I'm not used to getting really early. When I do have early boots for escape, I also have a sword. So I know I took a few extra hits of damage from guards because I wasn't about the line to take.
I think you were down to 1 heart at one point there, just kind of running through, just going, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
yeah.
so I was just gonna say, so this is gonna force a game 3 between you two. Any thoughts moving forward to tomorrow?
I'd say we've had 2 really good races so far. I'm just looking forward to yet another one. And win or lose, I'm not going to feel remotely bad about winning or losing to Toplife. It's a great opponent. So I'm just looking for a fun time in Game 3, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be fun. Hopefully I can get tempered. I like tempered.
I mean, Zelda found it. Why didn't you?
She's got a point, Top.
True.
No, I mean, no. Game 1 is really exciting to watch. Game 2 is also just exciting to watch. So if the past is in any occasion of tomorrow's game, more than exciting to be able to see it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there was talk in the chat at one point that you guys probably are in the most difficult group out of all of them there. I mean, that's debatable. But yeah, I would definitely put you at the very least in the top 3 like groups that nobody wants to be a part of. So, good luck to both of you tomorrow there, and yeah, we'll hopefully be a part of it. I mean, that's not really under our control, but we'll see.
Yeah. We already had 2 great matches where you commentated, so I love watching that back. It would kind of be too much for us for a third, but I have hopes.
Yeah, I certainly won't complain if it happens for 3, but thankful for 2. I'll put it that way.
No, it's I mean, I don't want to speak for days, but it's certainly very much a pleasure to be able to be able to do these races. So.
You can speak for me.
Okay, all right.
You're good. You're good there.
Yeah, so also definitely, rest up. Well, I guess Zelda, you still have, the full day ahead of you. Toplife probably, just take some time to chill. And of course, Days Cloud, might be bedtime for you. Maybe a little mushroom risotto, before you head down to bed.
Oh God, sounds good. But coming up here in just a minute from on this, pretty much starting here in 20 minutes, we're going to have Super 16. It's a race of 16 Super Nintendo games. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch. We hope everybody joins in on that. Other than that, Top, Zelda, you guys got anything you want to say before we move on for the night or day?
No, just GG's again to Toplife. Looking forward to tomorrow's Game 3, and thank you guys for the commentary and the tracking restream. Really appreciate it.
See you tomorrow, Zelda.
And I guess then with that, yeah, everybody hang out. Big thank you to B-Links, our tracker today, clicking the buttons there, making sure that we knew exactly what the heck was going on this very quick, very well played seed. And as always, Clear Mouse, been a pleasure, and I hope we can do this again soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely was a really fun experience all around. And thank you so much, Top and Zelda, for putting on, of course, such a great race for us to be able to watch and talk about. If you want more rando, I think there are going to be some more races coming up at 12:10 on SpeedGaming 3. There's Trank versus Matt Cap. And looks like at 4:10 there is Shiva Hayes versus Ganon's Gone Wild on ALTTPR Randomizer. And 6:10 p.m. on SpeedGaming on this channel is JP versus Locke. So still lots of rando to watch. And of course, Super 16 is coming up immediately after this, so certainly don't go anywhere. Until then, though, have a great rest of the day or night.